Welcome to episode 37, 100 Songs. We're talking about Gerry Rafferty today and the song Baker Street off of his album City to City. Gerry Rafferty is a Scottish singer, songwriter, musician, and came up as part of the UK folk rock scene of the late 60s and early 70s. Started out, it was part of, early on, was part of the Humble Bums. Eventually became half of the Humble Bums. He was also in the band Stealers Wheel, where unfortunately he had a contract dispute that I think consumed a lot of his time and energy over quite a while, actually, trying to get out of a contract or deal with a contract dispute coming out of that band. He peaked in the 80s when he went solo. So that was where he really started to get a lot of notoriety and became famous at that point. And he continued to make music after that, on and off for the rest of his life, and until he died at the young age of 63 in 2011, which is obviously way too young time to pass. But Gerry drank too much, so too much booze caught up with them and basically did him in, sadly. Recently, actually, in 2021, his daughter released a collection of songs that were songs that he had been working on, or songs that he was doing to prepare for another album that never got released because he died. So she, all this time later, basically 10 years later, released these songs just a couple years ago. So that I did not know. It's pretty interesting. I'm gonna check it out, see what that's like. I haven't listened to a lot of Gerry Rafferty other than a handful of songs that I knew growing up. I think the his hits back in the day, in the late 70s, early 80s, I think they got a lot of rotation on the radio, because I remember being a kid and hearing it a lot. Right Down the Line was another one, but Baker Street for sure. I'd hear it all the time. You still hear it. You'll be at the grocery store or something, and they'll be playing oldies. Not oldies, but whatever they call that period of time now. Oldies, I guess, I think of like 50s, 40s, 50s. Anyway, I would hear that. I hear Right Down the Line a lot. And then later on, as an adult, I started to gain more appreciation for the song. You think of the hook. You think of the not the hook. Well, I guess it's the sax line in the background. It's not in the background either. It's like right there, running throughout the song. You'll hear it. I'll play a little clip, and it's super recognizable. I'm pretty sure everybody's heard this song, and if you haven't, I'd be surprised if you haven't, if you listen to music at all. But I suppose younger generations maybe they haven't. More time that goes by, the less some of these things are part of everybody's memory. So, yeah, that's Gerry Rafferty. There's a lot of speculation and thought, interpretation about the meaning of this song or what it's about. It's about Baker Street in London. I know that much. He had a friend that had a flat in London, and he would visit quite a bit, and something I read said he spent a lot of time on a train going from Glasgow to London and back, and I think he wrote a lot at that point. But it gave him a lot of time in his own head. This song was inspired by The Outsider, a book by Colin Wilson. It's got themes of alienation, creativity, and a longing for connection. And the song's kind of sad, I think. I don't know why I think that. I think because I know he died of alcoholism. And then you really listen to it, you kind of get a sense. But if you just, I actually thought it was, I think I thought it was sad before he actually died. But it's a classic. So let's just listen to a little bit of it. And if there is anybody out there, not that anybody's going to watch this video, but if you don't remember this song, you'll remember as soon as you hear it. If you've never heard it, then you should check it out. Here we go. Winding your way down on Baker Street, lighting your head and dead on your feet. Well, another crazy day. You'll drink the night away and forget about everything. This city desert makes you feel so cold. It's got so many people, but it's got no soul, and it's taken you so long to find out you were wrong when you thought it held everything. You used to think that it was so easy. You used to say that it was so easy, but you're trying now. Another year and then you'd be happy. Just one more year and then you'd be happy. But you're crying now. And so it goes, does that a few times, goes back into another verse, and there's a fairly long instrumental part at the end that has more of that saxophone part and a guitar solo. So Gerry Rafferty and Baker Street, classic. Even if you don't like it, it's a classic, and that's okay. Let's go to the wheel. Okay, Blondie, Rapture, 1980, just a couple years after Baker Street. Baker Street was 1978. So now we fast forward just 2 years, and we're going to talk about Blondie and a song that I'm very fond of, Rapture. See you next time.